I have a question. The developer, you know, if Colgate does succeed in selling the property to a developer, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, maybe I'm wrong. I would think that the township, the most important thing in the township would be the residential units. They get those fixed. We really don't care whether the commercial buildings get built or not. Do we have any weight to put on the residential units get built?
Well, I'm not sure that I would characterize the fact that there's,
strongly.
yeah, that there's, no one would be concerned if the retail commercial isn't built. I don't think that that's accurate, at least the way it's been conveyed to me, and I don't think that's the sentiment of the township committee, and there are members here that can speak to that. But I think and again, we've had discussions with the prospective redeveloper and in terms of the use mix and where, and I think part of the balance here that we were trying to achieve is that Colgate was for many years a major rateable in the township, and I think the balance that we've attempted to achieve was to provide some commercial use in order to, in some way, at least partially replace that rateable, and also understanding that Hanover Avenue is a busy thoroughfare and everything on either side of it is non-residential in nature, including what's been happening across the street in Hanover. And to combine that with the fact that the rear portion of the site, as you go further in towards the area which becomes more residential per se, would be suitable for a multifamily residential product. And I think the combination of the redeveloper and the township committee was the notion that a townhouse project and the basic density that we're looking at here is consistent with your TH6 zone, which is 6 units per acre townhouses. I think the redevelopment and township committee were looking for a for sale market rate product at a reasonable density that would basically blend in and be compatible with surrounding residential areas, but also importantly to get the biggest bang for the buck in terms of the Mount Laurel set aside, because we know we're faced with a Mount Laurel obligation, and basically we're talking 20%. And the other thing that you should consider is the concept is now showing that the affordables would be a combination of affordable rentals with 6 units of supportive housing, which also qualifies under the COA rules towards affordable housing. And part of there's several reasons why the rentals are being proposed as affordable. One is that you can't physically mix rentals with the townhouses for sale as part of an integrated development. You just cannot do that in terms of things such as the condominium documents and so forth. And the other thing is, again, we're trying to get the biggest bang for the buck. We know we have a rental requirement as per the COA rules. 25% of whatever our obligation is going to be in the end has to be rental. So we know we have to meet that, so we'd be able to provide that rental housing, we think, appropriately here. And the other thing is, up to the limits that are set forth in the COA rules, there is the ability to get 2-for-1 bonus credits for rental housing. So you basically get 2 for 1. So that is why we basically have a mix of market rate for sale townhouses and the affordable rentals. And the supportive housing also would qualify for the 2-for-1, and that's basically by the bed. It's supportive housing by the bed. That also would qualify for the bonus. So we were basically looking at this site in terms of basically looking at what makes sense in terms of where the market's been headed. You know, we all know where the office market is. We all know that Colgate did not have success in trying to basically reach out with that property to an in-kind user, and they were at it for probably several years. Retail seems to be, even though it's a challenging market, there are some niche portions of the retail market that are potentially strong. And our discussions with the prospective developer indicates that some of the prototypes that he's talked about may be realistic at the site. I will add two other things on the retail, is that originally the developer wanted to propose a large, big box, 150,000 square foot store. That was not well received. Also by the township committee, it was not well received, and the developer basically gave that up. It's a fairly intensive use. It's not a great transition with all the trucking and associated operations to residential in the rear. So the developer basically gave that up. It will not be permitted in the plan. We're actually going to have a limit on the size of stores in the plans to prevent that. The other thing that the developer was originally looking to do that we sort of nixed was convenience stores with gas sales. And that's something that was not well received by the township committee. And I think if you drive down Hanover area, you can see that on the opposite side of the street in Hanover, there's either built or about to be built or approved several facilities, including the one directly across the facility, I think one just down the road. So there was really no appetite for that. So, you know, it all depends on what the market brings into the site. But some of the things that the redeveloper was discussing were things such as a smaller food market. There are different prototypes in the market, potentially an upscale health and fitness club, as well as other traditional retail uses such as pharmacies, banks, and restaurants, and so forth. So again, that was kind of the logic or rationale, Larry, behind the plan per se, to try and sort of balance those equities and respond also to the marketplace.
Yeah, the reason, I appreciate the points you made. The reason I asked the question is, would not like to see the developer, you know, and I was thinking the difficulty in commercial big box stores, if you will, and the developer waiting till it got going in a proper way before he did construction on the residential areas, and we would want the residential areas as well.
Well, I think that ultimately, and I don't speak for either the planning board or the township committee, but I think that if a redevelopment plan along this basic concept is approved, I think that the hope would be that each of the major aspects would be redeveloped, both the residential portion and the retail commercial portion. Obviously, a developer will, you know, respond to the market in doing that, but it's also in his interest to see, you know, each component of the site built out, you know, as soon as practical.
Thank you.